All right, so I'm here today because I've always looked at life as there's more to meet the eye.
With a lot of different aspects.
With a lot of different aspects.
Yeah.
And I always talk about that stuff with you know what I'm saying, people closer to me, like my boy JP here. And I kind of decided that, you know what, why not share that with the world, because we get into deep conversations, and I'm pretty sure there's people who want to hear deep conversations too and just talk about it up in the zeitgeist. So one of the things that I've been really passionate about and really interested in hearing, because I do believe that my foundation is there's always more to meet the eye, is this concept of flat earth. Now, there's a lot of people that hear and go, our eyes get rolled, and there's a lot of people here and be like, yep. And so what I want to do here is really just like appreciate it, respect the fact, because I always believe there's more to meet the eye, and I'm very, very open to hearing, you know what I'm saying, the case. And my boy JP always has a good story. He has some good messages, good info about it, so I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, just hear his 2 cents about it, you know, just keep going.
So, yeah, I recently just became a flat earther.
Mm-hmm.
Within maybe 6 months ago is when I got into just the research, and then recently I was like, okay, you know what? I think there's more evidence that supports that as opposed to a globe.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that led me to it was just deception. To me, deception is the name of the game. Deception is.
When you say deception, you mean throughout the whole system, there's deception going on.
Yes. Yeah. Like, if you do any deep dive into the government, whatever the fuck, 9/11, a whole bit, like anything that you want to get into, healthcare, all those type of things. To me, there's deception everywhere. So one of the things that took me down that rabbit hole was I just got into how NASA is just this huge $1 trillion tax scheming company that they don't do shit. They haven't been to the moon in years. If you ask NASA why, they'll say because we destroyed the technology and we can't rebuild it again.
Why they haven't gone back to it?
Yes, that's literally their reason. That's their answer. We don't have the technology anymore, which makes no sense. If you did something, if you...
It should be getting better.
Exactly. Cars are better now than they were 50 years ago, whatever. So that just makes no sense. And that's literally their answer.
Good point.
So I first saw that, and that led me to a whole nother, so when I say deception, it's because none of our senses, our eyes, our ears, or whatever, none of our senses, nothing of what we feel tells us that we're in a globe spinning 1,000 miles an hour, rotating the sun 66,000 miles an hour, and hurling through space another 100,000 miles an hour. None of our senses tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why we believe that is because that's what we've been told. That's what we've been taught. So that's why I started with deception, because I feel like if they can even get you to doubt, if you believe in God, if they can get you to doubt your God-given senses, then they can get you to believe anything.
Then it's open.
Then they can control you.
Else.
Yes.
Okay.
You go outside, nothing's moving, but they already have you thinking that you're spinning and twirling and hurling through space.
Yeah. That's for me. I hear this. It's like that sounds like. I guess it's.
And I haven't even gotten to the science of it.
Okay.
I'm just only talking about the deception part of it. And
Sure.
And how they like to control people and to control you. That's kind of what led me to it, but I haven't even gotten to the science.
Go ahead. Before I even say, go ahead.
No, say it.
No, because when I hear that, it's like you have points. I'm with you. As far as yes, the government is not only the government, just people in a certain position want you to believe what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Not necessarily if it's true or not. It's just they want you to believe for their own reasons. So I'm with you there. Even when you say the ball and we're spinning around, and for me, that's why I always look at it as it's very interesting to me, because I always look at it when I say people yo, y'all don't even know what's going on, because you know what? the truth is, we're you know what I'm saying, we're stuck to this ball that's spinning around a sun, that's spinning around a galaxy, that's spinning around the fucking universe. And to me, that's the truth, and that's why it's like, so y'all people don't even know. You guys are being deceived. You think that we're just standing here, you know, on this ball. So go ahead. The science gets interesting because that's where it's hard for me. So
yeah. Well, to continue, so in how I see it, they want you to think that you're just a tiny speck on this big Earth, and Earth is a tiny speck in this huge universe that's just hurtling through. So, like, they want you to feel that you're just a tiny little, that you don't matter in this huge universe.
Okay.
Instead of they don't want you to realize, yo, hold on, like I have potential. They don't want you to believe that you have potential, and I have this and that, and I am an enlightened human being, and I can do this and that and whatever. Nah, they just want you to think that you're a tiny speck in this huge world. So, the science of it, honestly, there's a billion different ways. I'll start off with, so for the globe people, what holds their argument together, the only thing that holds their argument together is gravity. For them, the answer for everything is because of gravity. This and that, gravity. Like if you look at water, right, or liquid, water will always find its level.
Fills in spaces, yeah.
Always. Like you never, if you wet like a tennis ball, water's gonna find its way down and then drip down. It's never. And if you spin that tennis ball, the water's gonna fly off the ball. You know.
Interesting.
And that only happens here on Earth. That water just somehow stays here on this ball and doesn't find its level. Doesn't find its.
Now you say that only happens here on Earth.
Yes.
But is that true though? Because Jupiter has water. Like Saturn has water. Like the moons in Saturn have water. Like I think it's called like Euphoria or some shit. Like I don't know the name of it.
They could tell us that. We've never actually seen that.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing. There's no actual real picture of Earth. Like you can't find a real picture. You know, if you look online or whatever, all those are CGI. All those are CGI. NASA even admits that they have photoshopped their picture of Earth, and you know, for their reasons.
But they said they photoshopped it. I remember I had to reach this because I was kind of stuck because I understand that is the only picture that they had, the only original full picture of the Earth was back in 1973 or something like that, and that picture was photoshopped or
CGI. It's all CGI.
But it wasn't necessarily what they CGI'd wasn't necessarily like a complete indoctrination. It was more just certain things. All right. At least that's what I've been told.
I really don't care. Why is there not a real picture of Earth then? CGI. If they only CGI this, that, whatever, they still Photoshop whatever. Why don't we see a real picture of Earth?
Okay.
So what I was gonna say with the water, gravity holds that whole theory together, or that whole argument together. And gravity, we've got into this. Gravity is just a theory. Gravity is not like, even the guy, I forgot who it was, Newton or whatever. He said like, yo, like this is the theory of gravity. This is not like fact. Gravity is a theory that they came up with to hold their argument together.
Okay. I say okay because it's like,
I know that you could argue that.
You can, because like gravity, of course we don't know 100% what gravity is, because it's, at the end of the day, at the core of it, it's kind of like the glue for the universe, for the theory of everything. So that's why I'm like, that's why I sit down and I give you, I respect the fact that, hey, because they can't outright 100% prove its purpose, there's an opportunity to poke holes on it, and you ask it's legitimate because you can't really say, or we don't have the understanding, at least of right now, what gravity is.
That's what I'm saying. Like once you find, like that's what happened to me. Once you find something that's fishy, but yo, hold on, maybe like it just whatever it seems funny, then you get more into it, and I feel like there's just way more evidence saying that the Earth is flat and it's a stationary object.
Hmm.
And like so, most of the the globe people, like when we say that the Earth is flat, what they're quick to say is, oh, how come you know, like the edge, you know, how come we haven't fallen, you know, like, why don't we see the edge and this and that? That's just stupid. So the we're surrounded by the Arctic wall. That's what Antarctica is.
Okay, so Antarctica's everywhere?
Antarctica goes around, yes. Antarctica goes around, and the North Pole would be like there in the middle of Earth. That's what they call it, the North Pole.
The North Pole is in the middle of the Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What about the South Pole?
so that's Antarctica. There is no South Pole. There is no, like, any which way you go south, you're gonna run into Antarctica, you know.
Okay.
And north is this way, into the middle.
Okay.
So
you're going like this.
yes. So we can never. Their argument is say, like, how can we never reach the edge, right? How can we never see the edge? If the Earth was flat, we would have been seeing the edge, whatever. No regular human, we cannot go and explore Antarctica. They don't let us. In the 50s, I want to say 53, which is around the same time when NASA was created. In the 50s, all the countries, they signed the Antarctic Treaty,
Mm-hmm.
which was an agreement that no one was going to conquer that land, no one was going to take over that land.
Mm-hmm.
They would just all agree that no one can just go, no one can go there, and they have like, you could go to the Arctic wall, but you can't get past a certain part of it. And there's military there protecting it. They'll turn you around. You just can't go over there, which is ridiculous, because in every single part of the Earth, we're all fighting. You know, all these governments, all these countries, they fight for every corner that they can, every piece of land that they can. But they all came into agreement for Antarctica.
You know, if what you're saying is true, why would all of these guys, these other countries, like, why is everybody in on the big lie?
Because they all make money from it too. They all, like, the same way NASA makes trillions of dollars every year from us, from the taxpayers every year. Russia does the same thing in Russia. China does the same thing in China. It's all like it's big money that they make over there from the whole just space exploration and all that. They make a lot of it. It's just way too much money for them to stop it now. They're just not gonna do it.
So, I guess, so I want to, you know, because I definitely, for me, I'm still like, I still listen to it because there's a lot more we can go into it.
Yeah.
But I'm still big on, you know, the Earth is motherfucking round, just because, you know, I see this shit all the time, and I like constellations, and, you know, I'm big on astrology, so. But there are some certain things.
Flat Earth people don't say that there's no constellations and stars or whatever. We use that in our argument too.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
go do that real quick.
So, if we were, because remember, we're spinning, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're rotating the sun,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we're also, now we are. This is what they tell us that we're doing.
Mhm.
They tell us that we're spinning.
Got the.
They tell us that we're rotating the sun, and the sun is pulling all of us hurling through space, right?
Mhm.
That's what they tell us that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we can constantly see these stars like clockwork. We know where they're going to be at certain times of the year, and this and that. And it's just mathematically, the odds of it, it's one impossibility after another. You would have a better chance winning the lottery every day for the rest of your life. Like, those odds are better than, so that means that those stars would have to be moving, spinning, and twirling exactly the same way we are for us to see them at the same place every time. Not, you know, like for every season, you know, they move too, but
Mm-hmm.
and it's just mathematically, it's just an impossibility.
Interesting. So, my dog JP hits you with one of the reasons why you should understand that there's more than meets the eye. Again, I always say, like, for me, I'm not too open. Well, I can't say I'm not too open. I am open to the idea that there's more to meet the eye. But I don't know if I can believe that this earth is flat. But I can respect the fact that people are, trying to at least prove it and put the solutions out there. So one of the reasons I wanted to put this video up there, because I always believe that in this life there is really more to meet the eye. There is a valid reason for people to question everything, and once we get to the point where we start, just dismissing everybody who comes out with something different, I think that's the moment we start failing. So I respect my dog for even coming out here and speaking his truth out here for the world. I definitely don't believe for sure. I'm not big on it, but I respect the fact that you can dig in and find the reasons for your belief. So I appreciate it. Appreciate my dog JP for doing this. There's more to meet the eye, and I want you. Well, I would love to know what you think about this, and let me know. Am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? Is JP right? There's more to meet the eye.
Yes, sir.
All right.